What are you waiting for? You know, when I was traveling, there was this time where I was on this plane coming from Cuba to Mexico. And I'm on this plane, right? And there's a bit of turbulence throughout the flight. And as we're about to land, the turbulence is just kind of crazy. And the plane is just shaking all over the place. And as the plane is landing, it's wobbling the whole time. And I was just wondering to myself, is this right? Is this right? Wait a minute, what's going on? And then right before the last second, the plane takes off, circles back around, another 20 minutes or so. People are just a little, uneasy at this point. And it comes back around for a second time. It goes again, shaking. My hands are like kind of gripping the seat. I'm a little sweaty. I'm just like, what's going on? As it's about to land, takes off right again, circles back around. At this point, people are kind of frantic. I see to my left like this old couple that are holding each other's hands and kissing each other. Like 2 rows back, there's a girl who's basically throwing up what she had for lunch that day. And I was in my seat by myself, no family, no friends. And I was thinking to myself in that moment, man, this might be it. I literally thought this might be it. And I have no control over it at all. And I started thinking about my life and what I had achieved up until that point. And I'd done a lot, right? But there was just so much more that I had wanted to do. I wanted to fall in love again. I wanted to start a business and really build something. I wanted to impact the world in a real way. And all of those dreams were about to go to the ground with me should this plane crash. When I look back at that, what was I waiting for? And ultimately it came down to waiting to be ready, preparing, so that I could avoid certain things that have happened before to me in the past. Like avoid having to get my heart broken again. Avoid having to pick the wrong career again. Avoid maybe even starting something up and maybe potentially not following through on it again. And I know that a lot of us are going through that same thing. So I want to ask you, what are you waiting for? What things are you avoiding? What things are you afraid of that has you not ask that person out on a date or even ask that woman to marry you? What things are we avoiding? What fears are we holding on to that are stopping us from going for that business idea that we've always been dreaming of, that we think has wings, but we just never quite went after it? We have tons of things that stop us from actually getting the life that we want to have. And unless we're in a life or death situation, it's so easy to not think about that. Just kind of go through the motions of life. For me, the impact of that was just 8 years without being in a relationship, or 3 years kind of wandering aimlessly with no career, no real clarity around where I was going. A year and a half of trying to start a business and not quite following through. So, again, what are you waiting for? In that moment, I decided, I was like, man, if I get out of this alive, I really have to live my life to the fullest, like no excuse.